Today's finally here. Got my boy Maxie getting his pregame nap in, but it's Birds and Boys Day. Christmas Eve, no better feeling. Happy holidays to everybody out there. Whew! The least stressed I've ever been about a Cowboys game. This game doesn't mean as much to the Eagles, but you always want to beat those stinking Cowboys. Maxie told me before he passed out, this is going to be Minshew Mania all day long. It's going to be tight, we're going to be sweating, but it's going to be Birds. 26-24. I'll be checking in during the course of the game, see if I'm still this confident, but with a few hours to go, it's Eagles. Oh, it's always the Eagles. First quarter, watching game at my pop's house, got my boy Nate. Little bro Jack, he's a Steelers fan, so fuck him. Nate, 10-7. Fucking with it? I'm fucking with it.
I'm fucking with it a lot. Shit.
Dak gave us a gift. We'll drive here with the score.
Right.
10-7. Feel pretty good.
It was the end of the second quarter. 10-7. Eagles, of course. My take, Dak, better play the best game you can this next half. We got to stop the run. Oh, let me get this good view. You see Sanders, if he gets going, it's a wrap. One thing I want to pay attention to is Parsons. Parsons getting bullied a little bit. Parsons better step up. Am I nervous a little bit? Our defense looks shaky, but our offense has to play amazing. And Dak just gave it the best Christmas gift possible to sweat a pick six to his hands. Like, I think as a defensive lineman, he probably would never have something as easy as that. So we'll see where it goes. But that's the end of the first quarter. First quarter. It's what it is.
Yeah.
This man is drinking. How many beers down are you?
6, 7.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be unapologetic bad information.
Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve.
Happy holidays, my guy. All right, it just went into the halftime now.
Yeah.
2017 Eagles. I'll let you go first, Brody.
Listen, first and foremost, I think I'll send my thank you cards to Dak Prescott for that Christmas gift that he gave to Josh Sweat and that defense. With Gardner Minshew in, man, they're doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, take me into a 3-0 lead at halftime. You're not plan is in that slot going after Josiah Scott, who cannot be on, let alone against their best receiver. So got to change there. I do think it will. Right now, I mean, both defensive lines I think are getting to the quarterback. The quarterbacks are doing a decent job getting it out, though. I'm feeling one side or the other, they're going to get a sack fumble recovery, and that's going to change the game. Because, like I said, key lines are getting there. But as of right now, this is exactly how I thought it was going to play out. Eagles have a little bit of a lead going into halftime. We knew it was going to be neck and neck. I couldn't ask for anything more, really.
I think my concern is Dallas Goedert.
Yep.
I think that now him coming back, you guys going to be extremely better. Like, I didn't even think about him being out all these games. Like, with his addition, you could tell he's going to make such a difference.
He's so versatile.
It's going to be nuts. My big takeaway is, Dak, you better play. Again, look, he throws that pick six, and now he's been on top of like 100%. Hasn't missed at all. It doesn't make any sense to me, and I think that I'm getting a little nervous with Sanders because he's gonna break sooner or later. I don't see him not breaking.
Missed a couple of wide open dudes down the field, and you touched on it this week. Your secondary is banged up. AJ Brown was left open that he hit him. Quez Watkins should have scored that touchdown. Like, there's dudes that are wide open. And also look out for this, because they're running a lot of that same out of the shotgun. Minshew's going to pull that himself one time. If the Cowboys can contain him, that's fine. I'm going to say look out for a Minshew maybe 20, 30-yard run. Or whether
Hell no, bitch. Crazy.
I'm telling you, that defense is going to collapse on the running.
Yeah.
He'll do it one time.
Okay.
Going to be stopped immediately, or it's going to go for a big gain, or if they're down in that red zone, maybe even for a touchdown. But again,
I'm seeing it a little bit, but I'm seeing now that the rush is starting to get to him a little bit, and I'm seeing what's my guy's name? Our defensive lineman. I'm forgetting his name right now because he hasn't done shit all game. But our defense is starting to heat up and get the pressure on him. So I'm starting to see Parsons getting close and getting in there. No. One thing now is on your defensive side, that safety who went out, how important is he to you guys?
So nickel cornerback.
Okay.
He's very important. I'm always going to be biased, but I do believe corners in the league. It's not only that good; it's that dude Scott, I think, is that bad. So
Yeah.
you're some sort of adjustment, which might have to go to some sort of zone, which run game again, even more so for Dallas. I'm a little worried about that. We talk about it the whole time because you're seeing it with Diggs shadowing. This is playing with our defense. Put Slay on CeeDee Lamb.
Yes.
Let the rest figure it out. Chase Brad. We saw with that little pass deflection, or Michael Gallup dropped it, lost in the call it. But his name has not been called out just yet.
Yeah.
You your best guy on their best guy. Like it's sports 101. I don't understand why they're not.
Yeah. We talked about it too. You see the Cowboys, they go into CeeDee Lamb, TY, and they're not touching Brown at all. Now we called it that the game plan is to get away from Brown. So what score predictions going forward now with what we've seen?
I'm worried. My main worry is, can Gardner keep it up for the second half? Because he has, overall, I'll give him a B minus. Like, he's missed throws. But again, it's like, what else from a backup? A couple of bad ones. He should have 2 interceptions. I don't remember who. Maybe Anthony Barr dropped that second one.
Barr, yeah.
So he should have 2 picks. I'll give him a B minus. I'm expecting the run game to be a little bit more predominant here. I'll go 37 Eagles to finish it. I think it'll be a lower scoring second.
What was that?
I'll do 30-27 Eagles. I think it's a little bit lower scoring second half. I think both defenses, again, like I said, I think both defensive lines are going to get to the quarterback a little bit more. We're going to see a few more punts. 30-27 I'll take now.
Really? I'm the opposite. I'll take us in this thing. The way that I'm gonna throw my bias in there, of course, but the way that quarterback's looking, I think he's getting a little frazzled. If you stick to the run, you beat us no problem.
And that's what I think is going to happen. I really do. Past 2 drives, again, you're picking apart the Dallas weakness of the defense, which is that secondary, and he was able to do so for a bit, enough to put up 20 in the first half. Mm-hmm. But I do think, like you said, like Sanders has broke a couple of nice runs now. Especially if they're getting to that outside, he's beating a lot of guys, even if it's 4, 5, 6 yards on first and second down, do it up. So I do think you see that a little bit more because that pressure is coming. And then again, side, I'm telling you, I think our D line is going to get there. I really do.
Nah, we good on this one. Hey, what should we do? Should I post this on the gram now, or should we keep this for next week to see if our predictions are good?
Yeah.
I say we keep it, and then next week let's see if our predictions are true.
Okay.
That sounds good. So you're 7 deep beers. I don't even know if I should call you at the end of this game. We'll have to say it for Tuesday.
Yeah, we do it.
All right, brother. I appreciate you. See you, bro. Peace. Oh, wait.
Yeah, I'll see it.
That boy Shay Sharp. I been trying to tell y'all. That boy Shay Sharp. I told y'all stop playing with that boy. Y'all know that boy Shay Sharp be on the thing, but real though. Skip Bailey, you going to see me. Whoo, boy Shay Sharp about to get on the thing. I can't stand me. I hate me right now. Y'all gonna hate me tomorrow. I'm gonna give me one more little sip of this over here.
Shout out to our sponsor of today. Mm-hmm. Today's sponsor is brought to you by TB3 Hookah. You see me smoking on the hookah. That's thank you to our supplier, Jersey's #1 online hookah retailer. With their vast variety of flavors, coals, and hookahs, and so much more, they make the priority to satisfy all of your hookah essentials. Enjoy all of your favorite products in no time with their fast, easy shipping. Here at TB3 Hookah, you are a priority. Use the discount code TRUST to save 10% on your next TB3 hookah order. Again, that's TRUST for 10% off your order. Now in Jersey, especially if you're in South Jersey, this is your guy to use. I would say when I deal with prices down here, you always deal with the upkeep of we don't play up north prices. Up north prices are always better than South Jersey prices. So if you're looking for a amazing retailer, he has all the products, and if he doesn't, you can easily DM him and he can get that for you. Any of your needs. So please, again, use code TRUST for 10% off. The website is below, but if you're listening, it is www.tb3hookah.com. www.tb3hookah.com. Use code TRUST for 10% off. Welcome to another episode of In Those We Trust Sports. Of course, got myself in the building, Malik Howard, and my host with me, Liam Stokes, in the building.
What's up, Malik? What's up?
Hey, you didn't start with singing that fly. You want to spell it out for me, the Eagles?
No, I'll save it for when we clinch the 1 seed on Sunday.
You guys have the Saints, right?
Yeah. So that should be. I think Hurts is probably going to be back, so we'll be chilling. But
all right,
not this week. I wanted to give you a nice Christmas gift. I didn't know what else to get you, so I called up the boys, said give them the win.
It's funny you started with it's an amazing Christmas gift that Dak gave Sweat, and it was. It really was a great gift. It really was. But in looking at that game, this is the first time I think Kat felt the pressure of what it means to be a Cowboys fan, because she was like, I'm so stressed at the end of the game. I was like, this is what I go through every fucking week with the Cowboys, right? And I don't know. Do you want to, since you took the L, we always like to start with the loser goes first. So let me hear your thoughts, what you have to say, and then I'll hit you with some rebuttals.
Yeah. So, I know we talked about it. And let me preface by just saying this game did not mean anything, but I'm not going to take that easy way out. It did suck, and I'll take the punishment. You always want to beat the Cowboys. That's what a rivalry is. It doesn't matter what the records are. Like, you always want to crush them. So, yeah, it did suck that they lost, and especially in the way that they did, having it be that close.
Yeah.
But in the end of it, I couldn't even be mad. Again, in the grand scheme of things, Eagles Saints is much bigger because we have their draft pick, need to worsen that or better it for us. And then again, you're just clinching the 1 seed, home field advantage. Do it at home on New Year's Day. This game was always more important than the Cowboys after they dropped the loss to the Jags. That opened the door for this game to really mean nothing.
Yeah.
I can't be mad when Gardner Minshew goes out, makes a few mistakes, puts up 34 points. He's a backup. He's a very comparable backup. That's what he does. He'll be able to give you good drives, but he's also going to make a couple mistakes that Hurts probably doesn't make, and it's a whole different ballgame. It's just that's why he's a backup quarterback for the Eagles right now. My main worry was leaving that game with injuries. Avonte Maddox, I think, broke his toe. Who knows how long he's out for. And now Lane Johnson is out for at least the regular season. If he's out in the playoffs, we will lose first round. He is one of the most important pieces on that team. Mm-hmm. That's very, very worrisome. Mm-hmm. And I know you and I talked about this, my frustrations with the Eagles defensive coordinator and what he does. And it was highlighted in this game. It was not making an adjustment like the Cowboys did when Maddox went out and just putting CeeDee Lamb in the slot against a kid who I've seen him play because Maddox has been banged up all year. Yeah. He gets burned no matter who's on him, let alone CeeDee Lamb. It's everyone that goes against him beats him. No adjustments were made. The 3rd and 30 play, horrible coverage. Darius Slay said afterwards, we just have to do better. We have to do our jobs. He seemed pretty fucking pissed about it, which leads me to believe it wasn't just Darius Slay getting burned. Because, again, I know you and I talk about, we don't like this side of him. He's never been that way. Yeah. So I don't know why he would choose now to kind of be like, yo, this wasn't me. This was on everyone else. Yeah. But it's frustrating shit because this game, yes, I went in confident. I know we talked at halftime. I still was pretty confident. It was such stupid mistakes. It was the Dak Prescott missed sack in the first quarter on the 3rd and 9, which I don't know how you bring him down, floats it up. That turned into a touchdown drive. Obviously the 3rd and 30, but then I think before that, the Cowboys went for it on 4th and 8 from about midfield. If you get the stop, you get the ball back and drive a few yards to go up 2 scores again. And it's a fucking penalty on a ball that Dak really threw out of bounds. There's no reason to even touch him there. 100%. And all those 3 drives led to touchdowns. So literally just take one of them away and it's an entire new ball game. Yeah. I think more so this game left more concerns for both teams. I think it was a great game. It was definitely an entertaining game for watch, especially for just NFL fans that were probably tuning in on Christmas Eve. It gave them a show to watch. But I'm looking now, and I always admitted to you, the 49ers were the team that scared me the most, but then it was the Cowboys. After this past game, I hope that the Cowboys beat Brady and the Bucs, because as much as the Bucs suck, I don't think the Cowboys, and this is not me being Eagles bias or trying to come at you, like I truly think this game on Christmas Eve and the game in the playoffs, it's not going to be close when Jalen Hurts is back, because there is just I'm watching Gardner Minshew go out, throw 2 interceptions, stupid penalties, literally 2 fumbles on just handoffs, and still at the very end of it, led them to a drive that at the very least put them in a red zone for a couple of chances at the end zone.
Yeah.
And still, with all that, and still could have won the game. So, again, if nothing else, there's definitely concerns on both teams. I think with the Eagles, it's, again, the coaching and the lack of adjustments that's being made on the defensive side. And for the Cowboys, like you said earlier, that secondary is banged up. The defense doesn't scare me at all. I know I talk about Micah Parsons all the time, but I mean, again, was non-existent. It's just like this. I think the Eagles' offensive line matches up against a very good Dallas D-line, but I really am praying that the Eagles see the Cowboys again, because it's going to be a 2-possession game in the playoffs. I really am not saying that to poke fun at you.
No,
I really, as of today, am thinking that. That's
I disagree. I disagree in the fact that it'll be a blowout. And my thinking is this: what I seen Dallas. What's your new tight end that's back? Goddard. Dallas Goddard. When I seen Dallas Goddard come back and what he was able to accomplish with a backup quarterback in, I looked at myself and I was like, fuck. People are like, oh, would this be the same game if Jalen Hurts was in? Fuck no. No. Hell no. Jalen Hurts is not giving up. What we think about it? Two picks and 2 fumbles.
It was four turnovers. And to be honest with you, there was 2 that the Cowboys probably should have picked as well. So there probably should have been 5-6 turnovers.
Barr dropped a pick that was in his hand. Like, that's 5 turnovers, and we still almost lost. Like put that into perspective, because when I look at it, I was like, fuck, Jalen Hurts has weapons. Again, you guys, I told you, if we shut the run down, we win the game with that backup in. And that was my whole belief going into it. I knew shut Sanders down, we'll go into with a W. First of all, that offensive line alone looks fucking amazing. Like, I was just like, this reminds me of that Cowboys offensive line that Dak was behind, right? Because Jalen Hurts at the end of the day has time just to sit there and sling that shit to AJ Brown, sling that shit. And I looked at it, I said, if we see the Eagles again and he's back in, the Cowboys have to play not perfect football. Like, this is the game where they had to play perfect football to barely beat this team, right? I said that. I said we have to play perfect football to beat this team. No, we have to play Super Bowl football if we ever if we play against Hurts, because Hurts is going to torch us, and that's truly my belief going into it. With the defense we don't have, I mean, in my eyes, like, it was funny to see Eagles fans say, like, this is the Cowboys Super Bowl, right? Like, you guys are so happy with this win. But when I look at it, like, it's kind of the same game that we gave you guys back in Philadelphia. We played with a backup, but I think we served it onto a plate better to you guys. We had a banged up defense, perfect for a backup quarterback to come into and fuck us all up. Yeah, in my eyes, like, and I was nervous for that. I was like, we have a banged up defense with Brown, and all of a sudden the all-star wide receiver on your team now who stepped up. But I think, in my opinion, the biggest takeaway is for both teams is Dak out of there. Slay is not straps no more. Like, he's not straps. And I think I'm starting to see the Eagles fall apart. It may be just, one off of we're starting to see blame. We're starting to see some things going on, frustration this season, which is totally okay. And when we talk defense, I say this all the time. I fucking hate zone coverage. And that was a zone coverage blown play, right? You definitely know that Slay was expecting overhead, over the top help, and it looked worse because now he had to chase ass. Exactly. So it looks worse if you look at it. But in my opinion, those are the 2 takeaways: is that guy, get the fuck out of here, and Slay. Like I mentioned, Slay has been a sneaky quiet fuck up this season in my eyes. From where he was at the beginning. Again, in the beginning, he was amazing, right? You can't say it's a total fall off, but I think we're starting to see Slay going through his hiccups.
Yeah, and again, I think it's just the frustrating part to me is, again, the lack of adjustments. Like, I mean, CeeDee Lamb's wide open on these plays, like a 3rd down and 30, and that's the coverage that you're calling. Like, I truly don't understand it. I really do not understand how that is allowed as an NFL coach to make those calls. The one thing that makes me feel a little bit better is our safety, CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Well, I think it's 3rd and 30, right? It was 3rd and 30.
Yeah.
That's the perfect kind of coverage you want to dial up because it is. I have underneath, let's say Slay has the 15 and up. That 30 that's covered by safety. You should never get beat deep on 3rd and 30 because that coverage like cover 2, cover 3, to where there's 3 men or 2 man deep. Mm-hmm. So that's why Slay's like, what the fuck? How did we get beat over top when we're in that coverage?
Again, yeah. So, but again, like that's your play call, knowing that you have your backup safeties in the game.
Yep.
Like they're playing well.
True.
Like I'll give them credit. You're playing well, but in these situations like that, it's just what's going to happen.
Yeah,
so that's what's making me feel better. I don't know if it's going to be this week, but definitely by the playoffs, CJ Gardner-Johnson, one of our best defensive players in general, the safety, still leads the NFL in interceptions. He will be back at some point. Again, I don't know if it's this week, but he will be back come playoff time. So if Maddox needs to miss, get the fucking Josiah Scott off the field. I don't want to see him on there, especially in a playoff game. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, again, I can't. You said that Dak needed to play well. I'm looking at it here. He threw the one interception, which was one of the worst passes I've ever seen. But really, other than that, I mean, 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. Like he did play a perfect Dak game. After that, the running game really wasn't there for you guys, but I guess it didn't need to be when you're airing it out. But again, I mean, I think the strength of this Cowboys team definitely is that defensive front, and it's just non-existent against the Eagles. And I know I keep saying it, and like I'm pushing your buttons, I'm making fun of you and Micah Parsons and like whoever.
Right.
Like I'm literally watching this game, and it's. I mean, did they sack Gardner Minshew at all?
I think maybe once. I don't remember seeing it.
And that's Gardner Minshew, who we saw, like, I guess he can, don't want to call him mobile, but he can move better than Peyton Manning in his old days or Tom Brady. He can move better than them. But, I mean, again, it's not Jalen Hurts. So if you can't even get pressure on Gardner Minshew, why? Where's the threat?
I mean, did we have sacks? I think we had maybe 1 or 2 sacks against Hurts the first time we met. But, again.
So, no sacks. I'm looking now. No sacks on Saturday.
On Saturday, yeah. I mean, but again, sacks in my eyes. When you look at that, like I don't know, that was weird. Maybe it was going into halftime for Minshew, or maybe it was like I think the end of the 4th quarter when you guys are going down, where he just threw it out of bounds like 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
That was like in the end of the 4th quarter, right?
It was you're right. It was going into halftime.
Going into halftime, right? It was so weird to see, but I'm like, that's sacks. Those are coverage sacks, and those are the sacks that they had to take. So once I saw that happen, I knew the game was different. Because I was like, oh wait, we're getting pressure now. Now he has to deal with that pressure, right? Because for a little bit there, he was just fucking sitting in a pocket. He could sling it downfield, but I am concerned with the way that Parsons is being a pussy, bro. Like in my eyes, like if you saw the end of the game when he went like on the sound effects, I'll include it here of him talking to like Eagles players. He sounded mad pussy, like, nah, you guys know what I was talking about. No, fuck you, bro. Like stand on your shit. If the only way you talk like that is if you go out there and you have 3 sacks. If you go out like Chris saying he would have fucking how many sacks? Chris was bugging when that's why I was like, get the fuck out of here. Hell no, he don't have that many sacks. But it's like, bro, they found your card. They found how to beat you. Beat them. And again, now this could be I'm forgetting our offensive Dan. I think his name Dan, right? Our defensive coordinator.
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn. This could be Dan Quinn, going away from Parsons, right? This could be him, but the whole game, there's no way. I mean, we put Parsons. This is the first game I've seen Parsons in multiple different positions, starting at linebacker because Van Der Esch is out, playing defense. Like he was trying him all over, and he still was able to do it. And he fucking was gassed. He was gassed, calling timeout at the end of the 4th quarter. Like, what? No, bro. You need them to be gassed. Fuck that. Let them fat ass offensive linemen. You run a 4-3. He runs a 4-3 40. Yeah. You can't beat these fat fucks off the offensive line at the end of the 4th quarter. This is the Giants old coach. This is why you lift all them weights. This is why we worked out in the offseason. This is why.
It was 4th
That's
down.
The moment.
It was one more down. One more down with like 15 seconds left. That was the game. But
my dad watched college football all the time, and we hate it when we're watching TV and we see people do this. When we see players do this shit, we're like, if the whole time I'm watching the defense play and they're doing this shit, it's ridiculous to me that people come out, which I get it. It's tiring, stuff like that. But in high school, there was no such thing as coming out. Like we played both sides of the field. I played on all special teams. There was no coming off the field. First of all, we didn't have the fucking players. But second of all, now in college and high school, and I mean in the NFL, you play one side of the ball. You play one side of the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Get in shape. Get your fat ass off the couch during the season. Still work out and go fucking hustle, man. There's no way you're telling me anyone on the offensive line is more athletic than Parsons. No one.
Right.
There's no way.
Right. And again,
There's
if you want to be that guy that goes on Von Miller's podcast and talks all that shit, then you can't be the one guy begging for a timeout. Because it's not like that he looked around and is watching his entire defense and be like, oh shit, like we have to give our guys a break. He was the only one on one knee as the play was about to happen, fucking begging for one.
Yeah.
Begging for one.
Looks bad.
But that video at the end, you're right. I mean, he completely sold out. It's like when you talk shit like on Twitter and you see them in person, it's like, oh yeah, no, man. Like I was just joking. What I liked was, I think I texted you about it. Jordan Mailata kind of like laughed in his face. And then Dallas Goedert came over, grabbed him, dapped him up. It was like, yeah, we're going to see you again. Yeah. I liked their reactions because they were like, no. Like they said, you keep that energy that you had behind the podcast, Mike. Now that you just were in a dogfight and you were the only one on your defense tired when Gardner Minshew was slinging it on your ass. Now you're going to come be, oh wait, no, but you guys knew what I meant. Yeah. No. I don't want to hear any of that.
Fuck that. Yo, I'm telling you, bro. With Dallas Goedert and fucking Jalen Hurts and Sanders, and hopefully your defense figures it out. And because to be honest with you, that's kind of the Eagles' repertoire, right? Their offense is amazing. Their defense falls off. That's kind of the Eagle way. And that's what scares, like, that's what would scare me as an Eagles fan, seeing like, oh, fuck, get it back together. You know, we have an off week, get it back together. But I want to speak on Dak. The reason I'm saying get Dak the fuck out of here is, you know, he does have these like on and off years where he'll go through where he just is totally off as a quarterback. And the next year he'll go in and be like completely amazing, right? He's not making those same mistakes. But I don't understand how you start off a game with throwing it to Sweat's. Like he didn't even jump. Sweat just put his hands up.
No, and you're right, and that's why I texted you like that was a literal gift. It's not like he was getting pressure from behind. It's not like he had to rush the throw even.
No,
I mean just dump it over. I think I don't know who the tight end he was throwing to, Hendershot or Schultz or whoever it was. Was wide open for 30 yards. He literally just could lollipop it right over Josh Sweat, and it would have went for 25. I like it's shit like that again. Yeah. I cannot be too afraid of the Cowboys, and you have continued to say it all year, and you're saying it now. You can't be too afraid of the Cowboys because those plays happen.
Bullshit. It's
unbelievable.
Completely like. First of all, what about this? Pump fake, make him jump, dish it on the side. That's it. Pump fake, dish it on the side. Like you could legit I could have done a flick to Schultz, and he would have took off field. And like that's the shit that I'm like, Dak, what do we do? Like I don't give a fuck if you go perfect the rest of the game. You gave up 6. You personally gave up 6. And you didn't make the fucking tackle, you fucking bitch. No. Make the fucking tackle at least. Because Sweat looked like he was a fucking gazelle. He looked like shit running.
I know.
His knees don't even fucking bend. I was like, you could tell I got 10 yards in me. That's all I got. From here to the quarterback, that's all I give you.
Yeah.
Because he looked like shit. But I'm like, you gave him a fucking gift and you didn't even tackle him. Like, this is the dumb shit I'm talking about when it comes to Dak. Like, I truly think it's time for, and which sucks because we all know Jerry Jones doesn't cut his favorite players, right? We know he won't get rid of them. I mean, we had how many years of Tony Romo? This is where my fear lies. Like, am I going to have to sit through?
It was almost the same thing.
Exactly. Am I going to have to sit through another generation of Tony Romo that I'm going to have to sit through and just be heartbroken in the postseason? Again, now, who am I more scared of in the playoffs? The Birds. If we get fucking TB, I'll take that shit any fucking day because I don't give a fuck who you are. We're putting up points. I
think you will. I think so. It looks like the Cowboys will play whoever wins that. Panthers, Bucks, whoever wins that. That's what the Cowboys will play
like
round.
Out of those two teams.
Yep, and then I think the winner will play the Eagles.
Fuck, dude. You know what? I'll say this now, and we'll play. It's in Philly, right?
Yeah. So that's if the Eagles win Sunday, they will have the first round bye. And then hopefully have 2 playoff games that'll both be at home.
Yeah. I'm calling it now. Again, I'm gonna be pissed off. We'll lose the Eagles in the playoffs. Like that's a bad way to go out, of course, versus NFC rivalries. But we're gonna go out to them and fuck it. I'm not gonna go for the Eagles to win it because I don't fucking win it. But I know at the end of the day, it's gonna be a shit show. I mean, I called Tone up after, and I'm like, I called Matt Eagles fans because going into the game. I think it was funny that I was getting a little bit of like, oh, wait, Eagles fans are a little bit nervous because they're telling me this shit doesn't matter no more. Now that a lot of people are trying to say it doesn't matter. We want the Saints. Fuck the Cowboys. We want the Saints because we want that draft. We want to beat them. We want to get first. Yeah. Now I'm like, whoa. So now we don't give a fuck about this game. Like, what's going on here?
No, and again, like that's the thing. Like you always do care about it, but in the terms of needing it and wanting it, you wanted it, but you didn't need it. The Cowboys needed it for a hope at a division. But again, it's almost. And we talked about this when the Eagles lost against Washington, and I came out and I was like, you know what? They needed that punch. Remember, they were winning by the skin of their teeth, and then lost against Washington.
Yeah.
This again was almost a best case scenario loss. I know I'm going to sound like a bitch, or like I'm going to be down the sellout, be like, oh yeah, like I wanted it.
I agree.
I didn't want it, but I think if nothing else, all I've been seeing on Twitter and interviews of these guys, we're moving on. Like we're on to the Saints, and we will see them again. Like they're going to have the Cowboys circle now, it pissed them off that they lost. But I think it also shows you we played the worst football that they have played since. I mean, obviously this year, and maybe even in the back end of last year, they were rolling a little bit. Like this was the worst game turnover wise, defensively that they've played in over a calendar year, and still almost won with their backup. Like this definitely showed them if they come to our house in January for fucking to go to the NFC Championship game, we're not letting them leave alive.
Sheesh.
So it's almost like fucking circle it now. Yeah. Remember this game and attack them when they come back.
Yo, man. I mean, either way, it's going to be a lot of hype behind that game, and we're playing we're playing what is. But I'm definitely not going to Philly for that one. Fuck you.
No, you cannot. I won't let you. I want to keep doing this podcast.
You know, I'm not coming to Philly for that one. But I think it was. Grand scheme of things, no matter what, we play good football. Like it was a great game because no matter what, I think my biggest take right now in the league is the league fucking sucks. If you suck, if you're 4-something, don't even put on TV. Don't even watch the games anymore because it's just so bad. Like all of sports kind of, unless you're one of those, if you're leading the divisions, those games are amazing, right? If you're not in that top discussion, the rest of these games suck. Like it's just battle the bums or it's blow up between the bums. But this game held up its own, right? Like everyone's saying, no matter what, that was a great game on Christmas Eve. Like that was a good way to go into the holidays. And then of course on Christmas we had the shittiest games possible to watch. So it was like no fun. But hey, I'm gonna say it here. I know I'm gonna get shit no matter what, even if we lose. Eagles have a fucking team that I don't know when they're gonna fucking lose. It might be in our Super Bowl, or if they blow it themselves, if Jalen Hurts somehow coming back isn't the guy we thought he was, that's the only way I see you guys losing because Dallas Goedert himself, like I'm telling you, that was my biggest takeaway. Seeing how open and how down the field he was, and now adding that weapon to Jalen Hurts, I was like, fuck, the weapons he's about to have is crazy. Yeah.
I mean, Goddard, I've been saying it for a while. Like I think he should start to get that recognition of one of the best tight ends in the league if he doesn't already. And
I mean, he doesn't put the time in. He's been hurt.
Yeah.
You got to put the time in.
That's the thing. But
you're not over Schultz. Are you crazy right now? You're not over Schultz, my guy. Are you crazy right now? He hasn't been playing. You can't. I mean, he's been playing. If you want to give him another year.
He missed like 3-4 games.
I haven't heard his name at all.
I would take him over Schultz right now in a heartbeat. But what I was saying was, again, my main word, like you said, the Eagles have the team. They do. Like they have the roster. Stay healthy as possible. Yeah. And again, you cannot have your coaching kill you because whether it's going to be, I know the Bucs are fucking trash right now, but it's still Tom Brady. He'll find a way to pick that secondary part. Yeah. The Cowboys just showed that they could. And the fucking Niners, even with Brock Purdy, I mean, they're going to draw up any sorts of play. I don't see the Eagles fucking stopping with McCaffrey, Kittle all over the middle. Deebo Samuel will be back. How are you going to stop that if you can't stop CeeDee Lamb alone?
I mean, I don't think, to be honest, and I'm coming to this as a Cowboys fan who fucking lost to them last year, I don't think you should be worried. I don't think I should be worried about the 49ers. I think that...
I disagree wholeheartedly.
Your biggest concern to me is that coaching, right? Like, we know that head coach draws up some plays. He knows how to win in the big games to get him to that. He doesn't know how to win the biggest game, of course, but he knows how to get you to that big game. But I truly don't think that when it comes to that playing type and when standards get risen, right? When it's time to play ball up here, I'll say the Eagles. If I were you, when it's up here when it's playoff time, everything's on a fucking line. I'll take you guys any day over San Fran. Any day possible. Us, I'll give a coin flip. You guys, I truly think that like you guys take that W regardless. Like, and that's coming from not a biased fan.
No, I mean, it makes me feel better because I, again, am worried. And my main worry is how fast that defense is. Again, Hurts can crush you with his legs. Yeah. Can crush you. that defense is so quick from every level on that defense that he's not going to be able to run all over him like he really has to. Like, that game would be a nail biter. Again, we're playing the what if game and going deep into the playoffs.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I guess you have to, because like you said, right now there's legitimately maybe 5-6 teams that have a chance to win the Super Bowl. The rest are fucking done. Yeah. So I guess we have to. I mean, it's that time of the year. We have to start talking about this because, I mean, fast forward the last 2 weeks of the season, really.
Yeah, facts. One thing I wanted to bring up, the MVP discussion. This is a week that showed that Jalen Hurts is not a system quarterback, because what happened to the system? The system lost, right? The system took an L. And I think it's frustrating that the league is trying to give the MVP to Patrick Mahomes because of him being out this week, which is complete bullshit, right? And I think even Mahomes knows. I mean, Mahomes will be playing his best ball, but he's been playing his best ball, right? He has a team around him. Like, when I think of a leader of a team and an MVP of the league who's been stepping up in its moments and has the record the Eagles have,
right?
Why are we not giving this to Hurts? What are your feelings on that?
It's almost like the LeBron thing in the NBA. Like, when LeBron was in his prime, give him the MVP every year, right? Like, you legitimately could. I have the same feelings towards Mahomes. You can give him every single year the MVP award. He is that good. Yeah. But you're right. The argument for or against Jalen Hurts, which we've been saying is ridiculous, is that his team is just good. Fucking big deal. Again, name me an MVP that didn't have a good team around him. But you just said it, like 4 bad turnovers and a loss the one game that he missed.
Exactly.
That just doesn't happen with Jalen Hurts in there. Again, with Jalen Hurts, they win. They already clinched the 1 seed. Like, it's an entire different story. Unfortunately, you needed him to get banged up and not play, I guess. They're still not going to fucking give it to him, which is bullshit. They're going to give it to Mahomes, but
I would be really pissed off.
I think they will give it to Mahomes. That's just what they do. It's just what the fuck they do. And again, if nothing else, yes, you're exactly right. This week showed you it's not just this Eagles team is good. It's good enough to hang around and almost win. Yeah. But again, I've been saying it, and you've been agreeing with me. Like, they weren't 12-1, 13-1, could have been 14-15, whatever, if it wasn't for Jalen Hurts. Mm-hmm. If Gardner Minshew was this team's quarterback for the entire year, they would be probably the last wild card team, maybe the second wild card team, but they would not have won the division, and they would not have the best seed in the league. Yeah. Best record in the league.
I mean, it shows you how trash the league is, right? That whole NFC East might make it into the fucking playoffs somehow. I'm going to be pissed off because I bet this fucking kid at the school that the Giants wouldn't make the playoffs. And of course, everyone in the league is fucking trash. So they're going to sneak. The Giants going to sneak their fucking way in.
I think I actually am going to take a leap, and I bet on the Packers to make the playoffs before even this Sunday happened. Mm-hmm. They need to win their last 2 games, and I think Washington needs to lose 1. Okay. But how about that? I mean, after this entire season, I know we're transitioning, but after this entire season, what looked like a shit show, you still might fucking get Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. Yeah. And I'll tell you this, if they do get in as the last seed, they probably will play the Vikings. Aaron Rodgers against the Vikings, that would be a hell of a first-round playoff game. I would not be surprised if the Packers somehow found a way to win that.
I don't know. It's going to be a great game. Like, I would love to see that. But I think just when I'm watching A-Rod this weekend, like, I forget the score of what that game was, but it looked he didn't look as great. Like, he kind of was throwing up balls. I think he has like 2 or 3 picks in that. Was it the Packers versus the Dolphins?
It was the Dolphins. That was the first. That was like the really only good Christmas
Day. Only good game, right? And I think that, like, watching him play, I was like, oh, he doesn't have the weapons around him. He's kind of throwing shit up through some picks. Like, he's trying to make plays himself. But no matter what, same thing as Tom Brady, same thing with A-Rod. You can never count them out when it comes time to play big-time games because they've been there before. They know how to handle themselves. Again, I would take Tom Brady over Aaron Rodgers right now because of the weapons Aaron Rodgers doesn't have.
Yeah. And I'm looking now. So this week, Packers are home against the Vikings. Again, they need to win this. They need to win the next one to even have a chance. Vikings, I think they pretty much clinched what they can. Yeah. But they'll probably be playing their player because, again, that's their Eagles-Dallas. I mean, that's the rivalry, so they're going to want to win either way. But, I don't know, man. That would be exciting to try to get
I think the Vikings, I was actually going to text you when the Vikings actually came back it was the Colts, right? When they came back.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
I was actually going to text you when they were down. I think this train of the Vikings is kind of over with. And I still kind of stick to that. Even though they came back and beat them, they had that kind of a crazy quiet record. I don't think that they would. I think they lose first round of playoffs. Like, I truly think they lose wild card the first round of playoffs like they play.
Yeah.
Because they just aren't that team. Like, again, like I said in the beginning, I stand by this. Would you rather a team that's skated by or a team that's been winning and winning big or winning at a good rate? And again, I don't trust that team to win it in the playoffs. And I was going to text you that, but then they fucking come back and beat the fucking Colts.
I know.
But I truly don't think that the Vikings are all that hyped up to be.
No, and I think, I'll have to try to see. So to put into perspective, because I heard this the other day on that Part of My Take podcast, or they've been talking about the same thing. Like, they're like, the Vikings are just not this good. They just keep fucking somehow winning these games.
Yeah.
To put it into perspective, right? Because let's just talk about their record. Point differential.
Yeah.
Eagles this year, plus 137. Dallas this year, plus 131. Let's look at the Bills, plus 157. The Bengals, plus 85. The Chiefs, plus 106. The Vikings, plus 5. Every single game has been close, and then they've gotten blown out by the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So you're right. I mean, they keep doing it somehow. But in the first round right now, they're either going to play. It looks like if it ended today, it'd be Washington. I wouldn't be surprised if Washington went in there and won.
Yeah. Shit. The way Washington plays, Washington does have like a swagger and a hypeness when it comes to those big games, and they have to win it. I do like that about Washington.
They are tough.
They're a tough team. Anything else you want to speak on this Eagles Cowboys?
No. Like I said, I think the main worry now as an Eagles fan is just you need Sunday. Like, Sunday's going to be a stressful one if it is close. And against the injuries, I need Lane Johnson to be okay. The Avonte Maddox thing sucks, but again, it also showed that you're not invincible. So as an Eagles team with all these guys and these leaders, like I've talked about before, fucking take it and run with it. It was a loss, and that's fine. But
last thing I thought about too was like, Devontae Smith has been so quiet this year because of how crazy A.J. Brown is playing. But this just shows you that A.J. Brown maybe get double coverage. Oh, I can go right over to Smith. Oh, Smith is getting covered. I can go right to A.J. Brown. It's just fucking crazy.
Even on your point, you just said like Devontae Smith's been quiet. Because that's how good I think Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and this team has been. So before this season, the Eagles did not have a single 1,000-yard wide receiver. Since 2014, it was Jeremy Maclin. Yeah. This year, A.J. Brown did it, I think, a week or two ago. Saturday, Devontae Smith got over 1,000 yards. So he's still a 1,000-yard wide receiver as the number 2 guy. Like, he's been fucking awesome. I say every week he has at least one catch where I physically say out loud, did he fucking catch that? Yeah. And he had another one this Saturday. Like, he's a beast.
That toe drag was disgusting, dude.
Yeah.
That toe drag was crazy. But I mean, following him since he was at Alabama, like, he definitely is a player that, like, any team he goes on, he's wide receiver 1. Mm-hmm. And I think that you can look at A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and say wide reciver 1A, wide receiver
it is
1 little a. Like, to me, like, that's the way I look at it.
And again, he's not even. I barely have ever heard him talk in an interview. Like, it's literally like he comes to work, balls out, goes home. Like, I've never heard anything about him. Which is, he's the guy that made Alabama win the national championship off that bomb for Tua. Yeah.
That was to Devontae Smith. So he had the Jets, and that was his junior year when he did that, or sophomore year, like his second year, I think, when he did that. So, hey, he's up there. Hey, we're talking about college football. You might as well take that turn now. One thing that I think I left out that I want to put on as well is this week I had a chance of talking through the entire like Deion Sanders situation with family over the holidays and stuff like that. What were their thoughts? And one thing that I think was left out that's kind of getting aired out. And Liam, you said it too, that we never know the full story until someone puts it out. But I think that it was perfect the way that Deion waited for this to come out. But they looked at Jackson State and they said Jackson State was definitely stealing money from him, right? In regards to the way Deion's contract was set up. So in his contract, I have it here. If Jackson State sold more than $30K worth of ticket sales, then Deion gets a percentage of every ticket sale after the $30K mark. So when we look at that in the stands, they try to tell Deion the entire time, like, oh, no, we didn't have that many seats. If you looked at the games during the year, it was a sold-out crowd. It was a sold-out crowd every game. And you're trying to tell prime time that he doesn't know how many people are in the seats. This guy's played in World Series. This guy has played in fucking Super Bowls. He's played for San Francisco at his highest, the Cowboys at his highest. Like, he knows these games. He knows crowd size. And you're going to tell him that he's not this level. And it kind of fucking pisses me off about the system, right? And again, like I said, no matter what, I can't fault him for leaving. He put in the time. But at the same time, I wish that he could have fixed the system, because the HBCU system is always has corruption. It deals with underfunding and these things, right? But it pisses me off when you look at the system like, yo, this guy is doing how many people's jobs at the colleges he's supposed to do. The president is supposed to bring in fundraising. The provost is supposed to be bringing in this. The alumni is supposed to be bringing in money, right? And donations. He was bringing it in from himself, bringing in public notoriety. He was bringing in these sponsorships. He was bringing in new facilities, all this stuff the president should have been doing. And the school is still going to fuck him over for some reason. Like, that's the shit that pisses me off when it comes to the system and being too greedy in those times. Like, you were greedy. It probably was at like when I'm thinking now, should I leave? Should I stay? That's adding to it why I should leave. This is what they're doing to me. This is what's happened to me. I'm out and I'm leaving.
Yeah. And there you go. And again, I mean, we talk about it. Like you just said, we don't know the full story, and we can have this conversation back and forth. And he went on Shannon Sharp's show and talked to him about that. Like it was an issue, like it wasn't something you and I were just making up. Like it was something that people wanted to talk about, him leaving that school before maybe his job was done. But now looking at in the grand scheme of things, look at what he's doing at Colorado already. I think I sent you the tweet the other day. They are the top three. They're in top 3 of transfer rankings: Michigan, Florida State, and Colorado. Yeah, fucking Colorado.
Yeah.
And again, Travis Hunter went there. Surprise, surprise. Got his son to be the new quarterback there, and amongst a lot of these other players. Like, that's just fucking what Prime does. And again, that was the one thing we said. We could never have hated on him for going for just a better job. Anybody would in any industry. You and I would do the same thing in our jobs. Like, you would leave for the better one. And again, now as more and more comes out, like what's left that we don't know about even still. That maybe Jackson State kind of fucked them over. So I'm happy for Prime. I hope he fucking kills it.
Dude, I've been watching. His son has a YouTube page that's fire that puts out content.
Really?
His son is a beast when it comes to like the content. I'll share with you, and he does like pretty much the day he's posting every day of videos of them like changing. Like you see Dion, there's a video of Dion walking through and telling he has like his assistant there. He's like, this right here, change this to this. All right, let's go here, change this to this. This right here, change this to this. So like, it's just like, I think that people don't grasp. Like I was talking this weekend about it. I don't think people are understanding how much history he is making at this moment. This has never been seen before, and people are talking about this situation. We need to talk about a fucking star. Like this is like this is a star when it comes, probably one of the best athletes of all time. Going, I'm gonna go coach high school football. Oh no, now I'm gonna coach Jackson State, and we're gonna beat the fucking dog breaks off this division. I mean, they lost the championship game, right? Okay, beat the dog breaks off this league and do what we do now. And mind you, I have both of my sons. One's a quarterback, one's a cornerback. Now let's go to Power 5. Let's go to Colorado. Everyone called me to Colorado. I'm bringing not just people. I'm bringing top recruits to wherever I go. They want to play for me. Now let's go to Colorado again. Black coach, black sons playing on the fucking team, starting, going to Colorado and taking over. Like this is history. Like this is going to be documentaries in '60s. All these things that we see on ESPN. That's going to be talked about in like 20 or 30 years from now. And people are like, that was fucking crazy that he did achieve these things. And let's see. Like. With these recruits, I mean, I was talking to my dad about it. He was like, "Who wants to go play in Colorado?" I'm like, "Bro, it's not about Colorado. It's about like, do I want to play for Dion?"
Exactly,
that's what it's about.
Exactly.
Fuck you.
And again, like, let's not forget too, if this thing really gets rolling with him, that when he arrived, like last year, this Colorado program is in shambles. Like they are fucking bad. They were bad. So if he really gets this thing turned around to where he can get them nationally ranked, play a legitimate bowl game next year. Win 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 games. If he could turn around like that, don't forget how bad this team was when he got there. Like you said, what he was able to do this quickly because he is Prime.
I don't think it'll be as quick as what we saw with Jackson State because the pack is still the pack, right? You still got to play, what is it, Oregon, is it Stanford? You're still playing some big fucking schools.
Hey,
Mm.
but I say in 3 years, I'll see this program look totally different. They'll have good bowl games. I'll see some upsets happening. I see some great, recruits starting to go. That's all you need. 3 years is brand new recruiting classes come in and go through the system that you've established, bro.
Yeah, you're right. But now, and I think we even saw it with USC, like when Lincoln Riley went over and how good he was in Oklahoma, it was the same thing. Like, yeah, give him a couple years to really get his guys in. This transfer portal is such a game changer that it can maybe take a year.
Yeah,
and maybe
you're
it won't. Like, you're right. It'll probably, maybe, he does want to recruit some of his guys coming in.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I can't scroll through Twitter without seeing 2-3 new big names of entering this portal.
Yeah.
And, again, if they're a top 3 team in the nation and getting these top transfers, you can turn the team around in a year or two. So I hope he does because, again, it would be so exciting to see him and that team like in the prime time spotlight and these Saturday night games, like these bowl games, conference championship, maybe like let's get this thing rolling. That'd be great for the sport.
I might rock a little Colorado gear just to support Deion. But you brought up a good point. Something with that was said by his name's Taylor. He's on a podcast about the transfer portal and how just out of control the transfer portal is.
Yeah.
And he brought up a great point. And I think that could fix this transfer portal mess of players just leaving, opting in, getting out, in and out. That with NIL on the table, if you decide to transfer, you've been at a school for some time, that if you transfer, that you should have to sit out a year from NIL deal, that you can't get an NIL deal that entire year until the following year of you being at that school. So that would alleviate boosters, NIL deals, kind of recruiting players to come to schools that can offer more money in comparison to those that can't, right? And now that, okay, if I decide to go to a school, I'm not going for money. I'm not going for that NIL deal. I'm actually going because I want to be a part of that system, become a better player. And I think that should be taken into account. I think that's the best way to control it when it comes to this NIL shit because be honest with you, you're always getting recruited, but now you're getting recruited with money. So where do you end up?
Yeah.
And I think that's a great way to control it. I think that was the best take I've heard on that fact.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the first I'm hearing of it, and I like it because I feel like I hate to be this guy, but like you might need to do something because it is so almost out of control. I mean, it's out of control, which is cool. Like it's almost like free agency for college football. Like where is he going to go? But in the same token, you're right. They're going to go to the bigger schools with the bigger boosters, with the most money, and all this parity that people wanted within the sport is only going to go the other way. Like you thought that Alabama, the Clemson, the Ohio States were annoying. Like, what do you think's going to change?
Yeah.
Honestly. So, again, I would like to see it in control because that's part of college football too. Is you see these guys play 2, 3, 4 years at the same school, they can really change the game. Like, look at Kenny Pickett in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
like he was there for 3, 4 years and made that program at least relevant. Like they were never national championship contenders, but look at like Cincinnati, right? With Desmond Ridder, Sauce Gardner, like with these guys there for 2, 3, 4 years, making it to college football playoff. Now, I mean, they're done because they left, they graduated, to be fair, they didn't transfer, but it's schools like that might not be able to be really put on the map, maybe a fluke year here and there because the best players are going to go and chase the money or chase the better opportunity, which would be fair, which again leads you to, you can go, you can play if it is better for you, but you have to show that it's better for you and you're not just chasing the bag at the end of the day.
Like no matter what, you'll be able to play. You transfer, you'll be able to play right away, but you'll have to deal with, you won't be getting paid that NIL deal money. You'll just have to live like a regular college student who probably, a regular on a stipend. I
was going to say,
they get that stipend. All right. So speaking of college football, let's look at these. Let's look at the bowl games first. Do you have the schedule for the playoffs as well?
For the playoff? Yeah. So New Year's Eve day actually has a pretty good slate. So the playoff is TCU, Michigan at 4:00, and then Ohio State, Georgia at 8. But you also have Alabama and Kansas State kicking off at 12. So you have 3 good games, but the playoff is New Year's Day starting at 4.
Yeah, I think the when it comes to the only games I'm watching outside of the playoff game, it's looking like that Orange Bowl, which is the Orange Bowl, Tennessee versus Clemson. That's going to be a great game. That's pretty cool. 6 versus 10, that's close. Sugar Bowl, I'll watch it with Alabama versus Kansas State. Kansas State probably get their dog handed to them because what's his name is still playing. He wants to play one more game within the quarterback of Alabama. Regards to that, now where have I been getting nervous? I haven't even had the time to think about Ohio State. It seems like it's been forever since we played
It has.
last. I think that with rest, it's like that. I'm just ready for good football, bro. Again, I'm going to be pissed off. I'm probably going to be upset. I'm just ready for good fucking football, bro. Like, I hope that I would love going into it knowing that if Michigan loses, I'm okay losing. Like that. That's
Yeah.
If Michigan wins, I'm gonna be so hyped up. We have no matter what, we have to win. I want to win no matter what. But I can sleep at least at peace if Michigan lost as well, knowing that Georgia's a dog. Georgia's going to just steamroll TCU. Now, if Michigan loses and Ohio State wins, I'm ordering Ohio State gear. I'm ordering Ohio State championship shit. Like that's how I'm going into that game. I'm sorry. I know TCU may have a little bit of we fucked up the last game versus it was Kansas State, right? When they lost it. Yeah. I just don't think they got it. I don't think that quarterback to me is all that's hyped up to be because they hyped him up. They wanted him to be the Heisman winner so bad, hyped up his story. Again, like I told you, I hate the performing football player, and that's what he is to me, and that's what he always been. But I'm ready for good football, man.
Yeah, no, I am too. I think I said to you the winner of Ohio State, Georgia, is going to eventually win the national championship.
Yeah.
And I really thought when we first talked about this that Ohio State has a chance. Like they have a fucking chance. But this one line, it got me completely on the other side of the fence. I was listening to part of my take. They had Tom Fornelli on, who I think works for ESPN. He's their college football guy. And I believe he said Georgia is like Michigan on steroids. Everything Michigan does, Georgia does, just 10 times better. Yeah. And then we saw what happened in Ohio State, Michigan. So I don't know. This game has the potential to maybe be a blowout. I still don't see it. Yeah. But where I thought Ohio State has a legitimate chance to make that upset, I heard that line. I was like, shit, he's got a fucking point. And like we've been talking about, when it comes to these big time games, they've stepped up and they just fucking blow the doors off these teams. So I don't know.
I think they play.
Yeah, shit. I think Ohio State, they still have a chance, right? At any given Saturday. They probably have that chip on their shoulder because all they've heard is Michigan, Michigan, Michigan. Yeah. So who's to say they don't come in and fucking smack Georgia around? Yeah. But it's got to be, to me, Georgia and Michigan is going to be the championship game.
Yeah, I of course I'm going to come with my bias, but I think that Georgia team is just where I'm nervous is on the defensive side of can we stop Georgia? I think that Michigan game, of course, I'm gonna have some biases, but probably was our worst game we've played in like 2 or 3 years, right? Even though we've lost to Michigan 2 years in a row, we still played like shit versus Michigan, right? And I think CJ Stroud played his worst game he's ever played in college football, and I think that he has something on his shoulder to go into losing the Heisman again for the second year in a row. Because if he beats Michigan, he wins the Heisman in my eyes. But I don't think that. He has to play amazing, and our defense has to play up because they played so down versus Michigan, and that's what scares me. Of like, Georgia's going to pick you fucking apart if you play like that versus Michigan. So,
oh my god, yeah, it's going to be. I'm looking now. Georgia's 6.5 point favorites. Michigan 7.5. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to think it's going to be close, but
yeah, we'll see. I'm not going to get nervous about it now. I can't get nervous. It's New Year's Eve we play, so that's all I got to think about. Another game that's probably going to be good to watch is the Rose Bowl game. That's Penn State versus Utah. That'll be a good game to watch as well on January 2nd. Some Monday night, Monday evening.
Utah's a tough team. Another one I'm kind of maybe going to watch is this UCLA Pitt game, just because Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the quarterback for UCLA, is so much fun to watch. Whenever he's on, I like to turn it on. But
they'll be a better team next year.
We're getting to the bigger bowl games this weekend, so that'll be cool to watch.
Yeah, dope. Anything else you could? Hey, we gotta talk about some MLB talk. I know that. It looks like the Mets are trying to take it all. They're all buy-in this upcoming year.
Yeah, and some weird shit's happening. Have you been keeping up with that?
Yeah, I just been seeing that. Apparently, they have a new owner. Is that correct?
Yeah, so they have a new owner. He's shelling money out to everybody. Yeah. One of the top free agents, Carlos Correa, who used to be an Astro, he was part of the whole cheating scandal back then, still a very good ball player. Yeah. Signed a 12-year contract with the Giants.
Giants, yeah.
A couple days went through, And in the middle of the night, everyone woke up to the news that the deal fell through because something went wrong in the physical. About 2 hours later, Correa was signed with the Mets, and now they're still having problems with his physical. I was been reading up that I believe he has some sort of plate in his foot. There's something with his foot that he kind of injured last year. The holdup is going to be the years. Of course, as a player, you want as many years and as much money as possible. I think on the Mets side, they're going to try to maybe hone that back, get a lower deal, lower money, maybe 5, 6, 7 years versus the 12 that they're giving him. But they are going all in. And the NL East right now has the Phillies, the Mets, and the Braves. The Braves are fucking damn good too. Like, this is by far the best division of all of baseball. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be fun. And then the Phillies signed probably the top free agent, probably the best shortstop in the league to add to that already, World Series bound team that it was last year. So I'm pumped.
There was a story that the Mets owner, that he was actually on vacation somewhere, and it was day for him and night for us. So when he seen that he failed the physical, he was like, call it in. I'm like, fuck it. Right now, sign him. I don't give a fuck. Because apparently this guy had just crazy loot. Now, in MLB, is there any cap? Like, is there a cap to anything?
No, so there's a cap. There's a cap to where your team has to pay an extra tax. But no, there's not like a hard cap like these other leagues that you cannot spend more than a certain amount. You can. As an owner, you're going to have to pay more tax on that, called the luxury tax. But no, I mean, we're seeing it. It's fucking, these teams now are paying $1 billion for a roster.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, apparently he just got cash out the ass. He don't give a fuck.
And I can't blame him. I hate the Mets, but I'd be doing the same fucking thing.
But again, this gives the Mets fucking blew it last year. This gives the Mets, again, you already suck. You already blow it. If you blow it with a team like this, you always blow it. So who gives a fuck? I might as well give it a chance. So I want to see where they go this year. I think they're going to be the team to watch. And I bet, Licata has to be fucking hyped up right now. He has to be hyped up.
And this is definitely the Mets saying, like, Nationals won it all in 2019. Braves won it all a few years ago. Phillies just got there and then added the best shortstop in the league. The Mets need to fucking do something because they're falling behind. They also lost Jacob DeGrom. Their best, probably I mean, he gets hurt a good amount, but he's the league's best pitcher. So like, they definitely, like, we need to, like you just said, push all the cash in the center, go get whoever the fuck, and let's go. But basically, it's gone.
I'm never against the buying players. I'm a Yankees fan, so of course I'm not going to be against that. But I'm always for it. If the owner got money and he want to spend that cash, I'd rather owner that spends that cash rather than it's cheap as fuck. Like, when you look at like the top MLB teams, like when it comes to money, fuck, I forget who it is, but it's a team that you're like, and they fucking suck. That means that they're just not spending the fucking money in the right ways. I forget who it is. Fuck, I'm
let me see. I can look it up.
But like, they have like, it's a team that you're like, really? Like, they have this much money they're coming in on?
Yeah. So, I mean, you look right now, and again, spending will get you there. So we look at it now in the top, I'll just say top 8 teams right now. The Mets obviously are spending the most. This is all updated. Yankees are 2. They playoffs last year. Phillies 3, World Series. The Padres now are 4, the Dodgers, the Braves. Oh, the Angels is probably who you're thinking of.
Exactly.
The Angels are up there. And then the Astros. But I mean, it should, like, it does show that if you spend the money, you're going to get there. At least you should, if you're spending it right.
I believe in spending that fucking money, bro. Hey, man, this has been a great episode of In Those We Trust Sports. Again, check us out on all platforms, In Those We Trust Podcast. Instagram at @WeTrust_podcast. Follow my guy Liam on the Instagram at
Liam Stokes 11.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys.
All right. Thanks, Lee.
Of course.